Sharael Maldine. The morning began with simple comforts: warm tea, quiet fire, the lie of peace. Then Cullen heard what I could not: heavy steps, closing fast. And when they came from the trees, towering, tusked, monstrous, the only word that suited was orc. But that couldn't be. We fought. I tried to remember my forms, to turn study into survival. Cullen met their fury with the razor, each strike testing the man he thought he was. When it ended, the forest floor was painted in blood, not our own. I forced myself to search them: coin, gems, what spoils raiders carry. We will need such things if we're to endure. But Cullen looked at the gold as if it were poison. He wanted none of it, as though to touch it was to share in their corruption.
Welcome back to the Dark Razor Chronicles. I'm your host and author, Mike Carmel, and this is Season 2, Episode 10, Edges and Lines. Cullen and Sharael face the weight of blood spilled, learning that survival comes with a cost. Krista and Dan's quiet refuge is tested by old faces, new tensions, and the lines they are taught to hold. Edges cut, lines hold. Let's follow them both.
Cullen Avon. I stare at the fortune, conflicted.
It's not looting.
She blurts, almost defensive, like she's reading my thoughts.
They attacked innocents, slaughtered traitors. That's looting. They forced us into this fight.
She gestures to the coins and gems.
This is payment. Circles, justice.
I nod, swallowing hard. She's right. That's how I was taught. Only I never imagined having to put it into practice. Still, we need the money. With a clearer conscience, I funnel the contents back into the pouch. Stories from my childhood flicker in my mind, tales Grandad would tell. The yarn spun at the tavern by old men too fond of drink.
It's been my experience.
Sharael starts, but the word experience almost makes me laugh. I nearly say it aloud, but I don't. She must see the doubt on my face because she continues quickly, almost justifying herself.
I know what you're thinking, but I have experience, of a sort.
Her voice wavers, the self-doubt bleeding through. For a moment, she sounds more human, more real.
I am a master, Cullen. I have studied combat, observed countless battles, more than you can imagine.
Observed? How? Are there so many battles to watch? She shrugs.
Magic makes it possible. I see battles from all sides.
And you made a life out of this?
It was the life I chose. I didn't have much choice after that.
Like mastering a game, knowing all the rules, all the moves, but never actually playing.
Yes, exactly that. I never thought I'd have to.
And you thought yourself a master. Why? Her lips press together. She hesitates before answering.
Because I could predict outcomes. I can watch 2, 3, even 4 opponents and tell you who will win. I know every misstep before it happens.
Her eyes glisten, tears welling. She wipes them away quickly, trying to hide the vulnerability.
But now, after seeing you use the Tree of Life, 200 years of perfected forms, what you did against those two, you saved me, effortlessly.
It wasn't without effort.
Nonsense. You kept both orcs off me, took them down, and barely let them get near. Cullen, that's something from stories. I've seen the moments that become legends. I've observed them. And men, they rarely act with that kind of courage.
She falls silent, lost in thought. It gives me a moment to reflect. Her words spark something inside me, a flicker of pride, maybe, but also doubt.
Cullen, your abilities, they're rare, even today. The sword is a way of life here and now. It's only your lack of experience that holds you back.
I chuckle. Sometimes your words seem beyond your years. She smiles, faint but genuine. The leather purse dangles from her hand as she fumbles with the thongs, trying to tie it around her neck. Her fingers are clumsy, and for a moment I want to help, but I don't. It would feel too intimate. Her skill and strategy, The game, as she calls it, is undeniable. I can see now that she may be as much a master of tactics as she claims, but she also admitted it herself. Her mind is strong, her flesh weak. I can change that. Give her some guidance. Teach her a routine to strengthen. I keep the thought to myself for now, and watch her instead. I've known plenty of girls over the years, mostly competition groupies. Some had skill with a blade, some had potential, but none of them intrigued me like Sharael. The flings from the competitions never lasted. Most of the girls were just passing through town. There was Delpha. I'd liked her for a while, but she was already promised to Garth Butcherson. I'd given up on that long ago. Still, once a week, my family would head into town. We'd gather at the tavern for stories, singing, sometimes dancing. Darren had been my only constant friend growing up. Even if we only saw each other once a week, we got into plenty of trouble. I haven't thought of Darren in months, not since he left for Ricurda with his father.
We really need to get moving if we want to reach La Rose tonight. Otherwise, it's another night by the roadside.
I don't mind the roadside.
Neither do I, really. But distance isn't our only obstacle.
I glance at the camp. Her tea has mostly boiled over into the fire. I pour some of mine into her cup, dividing the remainder from the pot. It's cold now, but after everything, it's welcome. We drink in silence, trying to ignore the bodies, trying to relax in this macabre setting. I gulp down the last mouthful and start packing our gear. Our clothes are nearly dry now. It makes me smile, remembering how I found the waterfall last night. A drizzly little thing that only truly comes alive after heavy rain. The water pooled into the underbrush with no clear stream, but it had been enough, a kind of test, and she passed it, soaringly. The orc corpses hang over my thoughts like dark clouds. Everywhere I look, I catch glimpses of the wretched creatures, their foul stench still thick in the air. What if there are more of them? The thought gnaws at the back of my mind. There has to be. These two weren't wanderers. They were soldiers. Their crude armor and weapons bear the marks of a larger force. My hands tremble, the physical echo of the turmoil inside me. I've killed someone, not a wild animal for food, but a creature of intelligence and community. They attacked us first, I know that, but it brings little comfort. The weight of what I've done clings to me. I sigh and force my focus back to the task at hand. Most of the travel equipment from the laboratory now lies scattered around me, spread across the forest floor. The packs are only half full. I need to decide what we'll bring. There's too much here, more than we can carry. After several minutes of sorting, I managed to pull together a pile of what we'll need. I had a travel cloak for myself. Sharael already claimed one. It's long and heavy, thick wool that promises warmth against the night's chill. It might be too much for this time of year, but better to have it than not. 12 meters of neatly bundled rope, 4 vials of oil, likely for a lantern that isn't here, but they'll be good for starting fires. The vials are secured with a leather strap, the glass protected by wooden blocks. 4 metal pitons, but no hammer. 1 flint and steel in a leather pouch, a change of clothes that'll fit me, if a bit big, and 2 softer sets that'll fit Sharael. 2 thickly padded bedrolls for some comfort on the hard ground, 2 extra blankets, an oiled tarp for shelter, a big ball of twine, a bag of jerk, a kettle, tea, 2 water skins, and 2 cups, plus mine, makes 3. I pause when I see it. My old tin cup, the one from home. I can't say why, but having it here, it's grounding, a small piece of familiarity in all this chaos. The plain sword from the wardrobe is here too, but I have no intention of giving up the razor, and Sharael's already carrying the white-sheathed blade. I set the plain sword aside. It's good steel, but we don't need the extra weight. Then I spot it, the pistol crossbow, but it's what's beside it that catches my eye.
Krista Smithy, Part 4. Visitors. Morning breaks dull grey. Pump squeaks under my hand. Dan counts it steady, 1, 2, 3, like he always does when he wants to keep the day from running off. We splashes our faces, flick water, shove the mud away from our boots before Stepma calls through the door. I ain't sure when the Stepma started. Maybe Dan says it first. Whatever starts it, The Mawi says gots a small smile on her mouth. Back porch, 2 bowls, bread eel, broken eggs, sometimes stew, sometimes ham, sometimes potatoes last night's sup. We sit, eat quiet, try not to clink. She watches from the doorway with her cloth over her shoulder, eyes sharp as corners. Just gots my spoon down when footsteps come along the ridge. Not slow, not hurrying, just walking like they gots the right. Dan stiffens first. I feels it travel from his boot to mine. Then I spots 'em. Jin with his shoulders loose and his grin already showing. Maury hanging just behind like he always does. They comes off the path too soon and down the rough into the backyard. Cross it as if they been doing it every morning.
Well, look at this, our stray's sitting pretty.
He throws it like a joke, but he's watching to see the truth of it. I ain't sure how's I feel about them just now. We are sitting pretty. And much as I'm missing my boys, we's had food and a warm place to sleep for months now, and I don't want nothing to mess with that. Maury's grin is easy, wide.
Told you we'd find 'em, Jin.
He laughs as he does, thinking something's funny, but it never is. Stepdar comes up from the yard, boots dark with dew. He don't raise his stave, just plants it, solid.
Who do we have here?
I stands, but a hand from Ma has me hold.
That's my secret.
Jin says, all the snark he saves for them in charge.
Well, I'm Lork Avon.
Dar says, he don't hold out to no hand. I'm thinking that be the first time I gets his name. When Jin just grins at him, he points to Ma.
That's my wife. You can call her Mrs. Avon.
I know the name Avon, and so does Jin.
Well, Avon, eh? I knows a little of you. Sure, I'm Jin, this big tweez is Maury. You can call 'em stupid if you like.
I don't. And I don't take kindly to naming people so.
Lork steps forward, stave in his left, reaching with his right to offer Maury his hand for a shake. Maury, with his lopsided smile and small eyes too far apart, takes the hand and laughs. I'm not sure Jin is taking kindly to any of that. He steps up onto the porch and walks all casual-like to the staves. He makes to pick one, but Lork clears his throat.
I'd prefer if you didn't touch them.
Well, prefer or not, I'm a touchin'.
Jin picks a stave, an arming sword. Not the right length for him, but he grins and turns it all manner of wrong as he looks at it.
Do you know how to use it?
Stepma asks. She's closer to Jin than anyone. She's a good-looking lady, and if there's one thing we learned these last few weeks, she knows the lines better than we do. The stave comes easy to her, and I pity Jin if he thinks he'll get to go. Jin puts the stave back on the rack, but I can see he got other ideas.
Well, I don't need to play with wooden ones, see? I got a knife, yeah?
He draws it quick-like, and I knows he just joshin', but Stepma don't. And she gots him by the hand, twistin', turnin', Jin, who's yelpin', and rollin' him right over the railing and down onto the overgrown grass below. The stuff I was supposed to trim days ago. Lork, Stepdar, he gots his stave against Maury's chest, but he don't gots to tells him to hold. Maury ain't really dumb. Jin is titterin', not cryin' or nothin', not cursin' or spoutin' angry words. He's laughin', crawlin' to his feet.
Well, well, you got spunk, missus, real spunk. I were just joshing, sizing you up, seeing the likes of who gots my tweezies in their service.
Stepma tilts her head, not sure she's buyin' what's sellin', but she don't say nothin'.
Take seats. We'll get you some breakfast.
You will?
Jin asks. Maury makes some kind of happy grunt.
Sit.
Stepma says, pointing at the 2 chairs her and Stepdar usually takes. Jin smirks but comes round and sits beside me. Maury sits by Dan. Stepdar nods, bowls set down in front of 'em by Stepma herself. Her eyes say test, not welcome.
Thanks.
Maury says. He sounds like he means it. Jin mutters it too, low, but he says it. We eats. The porch boards hold the 4 of us, and I know the food is a gift. The boys are eating what Ma and Dar would have. We eats, and some of the good times come out with laughter. Ma and Dar sit inside with the door open so's we can see 'em. Or so's they can see's us, I'm guessing. When we's done, Dar comes out onto the porch and selects a stave. He nods at Jin, Maury too, and the both of us, Dan and me.
Select your weapons.
They does. Each takes a stave, Jin taking the same as before, stepping down into the yard where lines are drawn. Stepdar's got us lined at the field edge. Jin spins his like it's meant to dance.
Feet under.
Stepdar says.
Yeah.
Jin mutters. He plants wide, swings hard, shoulder all out of line.
Too much.
Stepdar says, deflecting the blow, then uses the tip of his stave to taps the dirt near Jin's toes.
That chases.
Jin's grin falters. Then he pulls it in smaller. Maury's watching Dan, copying the set of his feet. Dan's neat with it. Heel to ball, no splash. Stepdar takes us each in turn, letting us get the moves in, seeing where we stand. We run the drills. Plant, set, strike, recover. Again. Sweat makes our shirts cling. Jin huffs and tries to joke it off, but he keeps his feet straighter each pass. Maury don't joke at all, just moves slow and careful. When I land one clean, Stepdar tips me a nod. My ribs go warm at that, though I don't let Jin seize it. Without warning, Jin attacks hard. Clack, clack, clack goes the staves, but Stepdar deflects almost as if he ain't paying attention. It should have pissed Jin off to no end, but oddly it don't. He tried and missed, tried again and sees what he's missing. You don't feck with Stepdar. Break comes. Stepma's got water for us, sends us round to the wash table with cloth. We comes back one at a time as each finishes. I sees Maury edging close to the door, peeks in like he means to see. Stepma lifts her chin 1 inch.
Porch only.
Maury steps back.
Yes, ma'am.
He says in his low, slow sort of way. I pass the cloth neat to Ma and glance through the open door. Cabinet's there, right to the stone hearth. The silver star under red glass sits still, gleaming steady. Jin's voice cuts it.
What you staring at?
Nothing, I says, sharp-like. I looks away before my face says more. Afternoon stretches long. We runs wood from the cook pile to stack. Jin does some splitting. Maury joins me and Dan running from pile to shed, grinning like it's a game he ain't never played before. Jin pushes harder, trying to show he don't tire easy. Sweat says different. By the time the sun dips, the 4 of us stand side by side, shoulders drawn down, muscles hollering. Stepdar has run us through more lines, shows us more than he has since I started. Doing it, I'm thinking, for Jin's sake. He don't never seem to get angry when Jin challenges, don't never raise his voice neither. Jin keeps trying, but Dar keeps knocking him away. When we's done for the night, we halves our sup together. All 6 of us sitting on the porch, stew and bread. It's time for Jin and Maury to be off. There ain't no room here with this little 1-room cabin or our tiny shed. The boys don't bat an eye, nohow. They got something in town, it seems. We 4 walks around to the front to see 'em off, and on the porch post, just above my shoulder, 3 faint chalk slashes, bent into a circle. My chest goes tight. Dan hasn't seen it. Neither's Jin. I step close like I'm stretching and wipes my sleeve across the wood till the lines vanish. Stepma's eyes cut over, catch the move. She don't ask. She don't need to.
Cullen Evan. Beside the pistol crossbow is a small leather case, hardened to keep its shape small enough to hold in my hand. The leather, the same chestnut brown as the armor, stamped central with the white circle's insignia. I open it. A thin box slides into my palm. A belt buckle? A bit large for the job. Metal, heavy. I flip it over and my breath catches. The Avon device is etched into its face. Unmistakable. It can't be. I've heard the stories. Great-granda used to speak of this very thing, Lorcaven's buckle, given to him by Arthesi of the White Circle. In the stories, Lork wore it while exploring the countryside, battling orcs, goblins, even werewolves. Creatures, I came to learn as I grew older that, even by Lork's time, were already legends. I always thought stories of Lork were just that, stories. The wild tales of an old man spinning yarns by the fire. After all, Lork disappeared. I only now know he died trapped in the laboratory. But here it is, real, tangible, heavy in my hand. The buckle is simple, a gray finish, smooth except for the Avon device, a 12-pointed star with a sword through its center, almost identical to the razor I now carry. The stories said the buckle's face splits, revealing. I press my thumb against the Avon device and push. The metal shifts. A seam appears, and one side slides open. Blinding light bursts out, pure, otherworldly. I flinch, blinking, angling it away from my eyes. I snap the cover shut, the glow fading with an effect not unlike the way light moved in the laboratory before the magic was broken. Sharael is suddenly beside me, her hand on my shoulder, grounding me.
I remember this.
She says softly, her voice thick with memory.
It's Lork's. I gave it to him when he returned from Greater Moor, a little over 2 years ago, to my mind.
You gave it to him? My voice rises, incredulous. That's not how the story goes. She nods, patient.
I gave one to Joran Larnd, and Gorsilft as well. A gift, for returning the razor.
Just the 3 families?
Well, it turned out it was needed. Farthenfelton is a dwarf, and Norcalosis is an elf. Their kind is gifted with night vision. Humans are not. They would have fared better if they hadn't had to fumble with torches and lanterns. Look, the light comes from a tiny diamond inside, barely a speck of worth. I enchanted it with a simple spell, almost the same one I showed you yesterday.
I stare at the buckle, her words sinking in. You said, returning the razor. You mean, it was stolen before? Her smile falters. A shadow crosses her face.
Yes. Arthesi, despite my fondness for him, had been plotting its theft for a long time. We never knew who took it the first time. He was my mentor, my only real friend back then. At the tribunal, he didn't say a word. No defense. His silence was damning.
I try to process it all. Arthesi stole the razor? But he's the one who swore my family to the oath, the one who bound us to this destiny.
Yes, he was the officiate. The oath was sworn with the white circle as witness. Porthalis is Grand Magus of the Circle, but Arthesi was the architect, the one who designed the binding.
The architect? She tilts her head.
The spell, the one that lights the beacon in your amulet, calls the oath-sworn to action, the one that binds the oath-sworn in their loyalty.
I shake my head, trying to wrap my mind around it. So he built the very magic that controls us. Her eyes gleam with a mix of admiration and bitterness.
He was a master of the arcane arts, one of the most talented in the circles. His origin is unique among us all. One day we will speak of it.
I hesitate before asking. Circles? You've mentioned them before. I know of the white, but is there truth to the stories about the black circle? She gives a small nod.
There are 8 circles, 4 positive, 4 opposing. They're scattered across the garden, some positioned on the far side of the world. The positives are red circle in Alta, just over the cat's teeth. Orange further south in Baja. Yellow southeast in Washington.
And the opposites?
Black in Karakia, part of Kazakh. Green, opposite yellow, in Karatogo. Blue opposes red, based in Moscow, Rusk. Violet opposes orange, in the Ulyanovsky district, also in Rusk, though I can't recall the exact city.
I try to process it all. So, 8 circles, spread across the world. She smiles faintly.
Like the colors of the rainbow,
She says, her tone light, but I sense the weight behind her words. Why are they positioned like that? To keep balance? She hesitates, something unspoken in her pause.
That's part of it.
And I press. Her gaze drops to the buckle in my hand.
Put it on.
She's trying to distract me, I'm sure of it. And, I repeat. Her shoulders sag, the resistance slipping away.
They're positioned for something greater. A grand working of magic. The Novi Mundi.
I try to repeat it, but the words feel foreign on my tongue. She doesn't wait.
It's a spell to change and protect the world. It's their life's work. the culmination of centuries of study and sacrifice.
I undo my sword belt as she speaks, fingers working the worn leather. Change and protect? I ask, slipping off the old buckle, the metal cool beneath my touch.
Change to protect, I suppose, is a better way of putting it.
I twist the screw pin holding my old buckle in place. It slides out with a soft scrape and I toss the buckle onto the pile of discarded gear. The metal clatters as it lands. Sharael drops onto her pack and kicks a half-burned stick into the low fire. Embers flare, casting brief flashes of light across her face. I don't understand, I murmur, threading the new buckle, the family heirloom, onto my belt. My fingers fumble with the screw pin as I glance at her. She's staring into the fire, shadows dancing over her features, her brow creased in frustration. I fasten the belt and slide open the cover on the buckle. Light spills out, thick and syrupy, spreading like liquid gold before washing over her. Sharael winces, turning her face away as the glow engulfs her, the same strange, oozing light I'd seen in the laboratory before waking her. I snap the cover shut, cutting off the glow. The silence between us stretches.
It's a lot to explain. We really should be on our way. The road ahead is long and uncertain.
I don't let it go. We need to talk about this. The weight of unanswered questions presses down on me, heavier than any pack.
Sharael Maldine. I hate how he looks at me. Those piercing eyes, sharp, unwavering, searching for truths I'm not ready to give. Like a lord of the manor interrogating a servant over some minor transgression. But this isn't minor. This could shatter the fragile trust between us. What do I say? What can I tell him that won't unravel everything?
That's where we'll pause tonight. You've been listening to the Dark Razor Chronicles, Season 2, Episode 10, Edges and Lines. I'm your host and author, Mike Carmel. Cullen now carries more than the razor. He carries an heirloom and questions that bind him tighter to a destiny not of his choosing. Sharael knows more than she says, and her silences are beginning to cut deep. In another yard, Krista and Dan learn that even welcome faces contest the fragile peace they've found, and that some marks must be erased before they're read. If you're enjoying the journey, leaving a review on Apple or Spotify helps keep the stream alive. Patrons get early access and exclusive extras. Join the stream on Patreon, and for the novels and more, visit mikecarmel.ca. That's mikecarmel.ca. Until next time, remember, truth can weigh heavier than steel, and not every line is meant to be crossed.